Welcome trainers to the series where we update the type chart and edit all 18 types with my own changes as well as some of your own input. From the interactions they have with other types, certain battle effects associated with the type, and any alterations we can make to existing information regarding the type. Today is the electric type, and let's be honest, it could do with a tweak. Not too many changes, but enough to stick to the rules which I go over in the rules video, so check that out if you haven't already. Overall, the electric type isn't bad, but it does feel a little lacklustre. I do appreciate how a lot of electric types are quick with their high speeds, and they get access to paralysis, which is arguably the best status condition as it halves the opponent's speed. They have great move options too, with moves like Thunderbolt, Volt Switch and Wild Charge. They even work well as coverage options for non-electric types trying to take out water and flying types. Speaking of, electric does super effective damage to water and flying, which isn't bad since water conducts electricity, and if anything is going to reach an aerial target, it's going to be lightning. But do you know what else conducts electricity? Metal. The steel type isn't desperate for more weaknesses, but it would make so much sense for electric to hit for a super effective damage. It would even make a nice parallel to electric's resistance to steel. Looking at every type, this makes the most sense, so let's make it happen. We can also make ice and ghost weak to electric while we're at it. Ice is just frozen water, and since electricity produces heat, you'd think there would be enough heat to melt ice a little to do super effective damage, as if it were water. I think it would also work thematically if we take the states of matter into consideration. Electric, or plasma, being super effective to ice, which is a solid, water, which is a liquid, and flying, which is a gas, if we assume flying to be the wind type. As for ghosts, it's common knowledge that ghosts avoid light. It's a standard trope in animation for a flashlight or a lamp to deter spectral beings, and since the light type doesn't exist, I believe electric should fit the role quite nicely to scare away ghosts with their flashy display of power. Therefore, we should make the electric type resist ghost type moves. If you've been keeping track, the electric type has just gone from 2 to 5 super effective interactions. This needs to be balanced ASAP, otherwise electric is going to be too dominating in our version of competitive battling. Let's take some inspiration from what Marcus said. He says we should boost the rock type by making it resist electric, and I agree. It's something me and my friend were discussing during Sinnoh Go Fest. Since ground is completely immune to electric, why not make the sister type rock resist it? Rock is basically the earth after all, so I stand by this choice. Also, I think the dark type has a shot at being super effective to electric. I know we've made the point that ghost should be weak to electric, so why not dark, since they're the same kind of thing? Both trying to avoid the light, but this is different. Dark is known as the evil type, and electric isn't actually a light type per se, so technically, it's not a battle between light and dark. Where I'm coming from is evil entities are always trying to seek power in some way, shape or form. Electricity is a great source of power. Villains tend to collect electricity to power up some kind of doomsday device or gadget to reach their ultimate form. So I feel electric types should be worrying about how the electricity will be used and whether or not it will be harnessed for evil from the bad guys of the Pokémon world. Finally, let's discuss paralysis. Call it skill issues, bad RNG, or simply salt. But 1 in 4 chance to do nothing a turn? No. Just no. Being burned doesn't have a 1 in 4 chance of losing half your health, and being poisoned doesn't have a 1 in 4 chance of spreading to a partner Pokémon. So why should paralysis not only halve your speed, but also be the only status condition to have an additional effect? One which can be abused to the point where the most skilled player has to sacrifice a very useful held item or ability in exchange for a Lumberry, or the very niche ability Limber. Flinching, certain abilities, and immunities have your Pokémon do nothing a turn, so I add paralysis to the list. Either get rid of the 1 in 4 chance of snapping your console, or include additional effects to the other status conditions to see more use and viability for Pokémon that can burn, poison, freeze, etc. So how does the type chart look now? Definitely more changes than the normal type, but I feel these changes are more straightforward than having to explain it in detail like before. Do you like these changes, or have I gone too far? Make sure to join the community over on Facebook and Discord to have your say on the next type. Also make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next type update. Until then, however, make sure to train hard and team build to the best of your ability. I'll see you guys in the next video.